I just said, just shut up and let me enjoy this pain. I don't want anything to numb it. I don't want anything right now.
You will face pain on this way, suffering, frustration, humiliation. Accept the pain.
Life is pain. I wake up every morning, I'm in pain. I go to work in pain. You know how many times I wanted to just give up?
Pain is there to ask you one simple question. Do you really want to achieve your goals, or are you just a talker?
Don't cry to give up, cry to keep going. Don't cry to quit. You already in pain, you already hurt. Get a reward from it.
When I'm hurt, I love it. I love that feeling because it's real. That's the most realest feeling that you could ever have, is being in pain, because everything else, happiness could be fake, crying could be fake, but pain, shit, that's real.
Welcome to the pain zone. It's where we live.
Pain motivates significantly faster and stronger than pleasure does. Like, people are like, no, passion's the right way. It's like, point a gun at a family member, all of a sudden, 10 out of 10 motivation. Pain.
This is a chemical burn. It'll hurt more than you've ever been burned, and you will have a scar. What are you doing? Stay with the pain. Don't shut this out. No. Without pain, without sacrifice, we would have nothing.
A moment of pain is worth a lifetime of glory. Remember that.
Be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt. Don't be afraid of sacrificing some blood.
So at those times where you're questioning if you have anything left, no, a day from then, a week from then, a month from then, a year from then, you will never remember the discomfort of the pain. You will always remember the pride of the accomplishment. That lives on. That's why pain is temporary. Pride is forever, guys. You give it your all, you get it all. Tenfold.
Like, a harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a very, very dangerous man who has that under voluntary control. There are variants of hero archetypes that are relevant to women, and one of them is Beauty and the Beast. And, you know, Beauty isn't interested in the guy who isn't the beast. She's interested in the guy who's the beast, and that's exactly right, but she's interested in the guy who's the beast that can be civilized and disciplined.
The thing about pain is, like, you feel it right now, it's temporary, man. But later in life, you don't remember the pain.
You have to be obsessed. You have to be mission focused. You have to be driven by something greater than what average people are driven by. Just work. And if you don't get what you thought you were going to get, show up and still go to work. I'd rather go too far than not far enough. The only reward that you get from taking it easy is the fact that in the moment, it's easier.
You need discipline, because motivation's not there every day.
Every time I start doing things I don't want to do, I grow.
It's so important because everybody just wants to be comfortable.
I am telling you right now, you have to wake up and do your fucking job. Even if you have to crawl through it, you've got to get up and do it. Because the minute you lay down, that shit's got you forever, bro, and you can't get out of it.
When you change yourself, you will change the world, because you'll change how you see it.
I signed that contract with myself. I'm doing it. I'm not negotiating with myself.
Yeah.
The deal was already made. The deal was made when I set out at the beginning of the summer and said, this is the training plan I'm doing. Within that structure, in my mind, when I go to sleep, is already like planning of what the next day is going to be, because I know, what it is I have to do. It's that consistency and structure.
How can you beat someone who cannot fucking quit? How can you beat someone who every time they go through a hard time, they get better and they get stronger instead of getting weaker and getting demoralized?
Act like the person you want to become. That's not fake it till you make it, by the way. This is intentional. Intentionally act like the person you want to become. Because when you intentionally act like the person you want to become, your brain sees you taking those actions, so your brain starts to change the way it relates to you.
The fact of the matter is if you want to be good, you really don't have a lot of choices, because it takes what it takes. You have to do what you have to do to be successful. So you have to make the choices and decisions, have the discipline and the focus to the process of what you need to do to accomplish your goals.
You cannot wish for a strong character and an easy life. Each is the price of the other. What if what you're going through isn't hard? What if you're just sensitive?
Expecting it to be easy is what makes it much harder than it ever is.
Opportunity comes to you many times. Opportunity comes, you can either take it or remain scared of it. If you don't take it, it's going to knock on somebody else's door. And it's going to invite them to the adventure.
Do I have talent, Dad?
Of course you have talent. You got all the talent in the world.
Can I be a baseball player?
You can be anything you want to be. Remember, the saddest thing in life is wasted talent. You could have all the talent in the world, but if you don't do the right thing, then nothing happens. But when you do right, guess what? Good things happen. You hear me?
The saddest thing in life is wasted talent, guys. You know? So do the best you can and don't try to it's so easy to waste time.
Losing in life is so important, whether it's getting dumped, getting fired, losing a game, loss. Those feelings where things didn't work out your way, that's important because it lets you know this is the bad feeling that comes when it goes wrong, and you improve, and then it makes the good feelings of victory all the better.
Do it. Don't speak it. Do it.
Dedication, hard work. Dedication, hard work. I'm a one-man army. The world can go against me. I'm still come on top. I got God on my side.
Consistency, man. That's the name of the game, bro. Don't get much simpler than that. If you keep going every single day and don't stop, your competition will fall off, bro. These niggas ain't cut like you, bro. They ain't ready for prime time. They ain't trying to really get right. They take days off, this day off, that day off. They lazy. I'm tired. No. Grind every day, one foot in front of the other, bro. And I promise you, I'm going to be lapping these folks, bro. Give it a year. Watch what happens.
You said something that resonated with me. Said, nothing changes if nothing changes. I thought about it, and I went home and I applied for a job I'm probably not qualified for, but I was like, I'll just take a shot. And the next day I get a call from them, and I got the job.
Yeah, it's crazy to sometimes think like, I'm going to see what happens when I decide that I am qualified. Because nothing changes and nothing changes, man.
How many times do you have to hear, if nothing changes, nothing changes? And yet somehow we expect things to change. You think you're going to get a raise. You think the world is going to get better without you doing anything, but it isn't. Nothing is going to change unless you change what you're doing. You make those little changes, those little habits that you have to change them. Those bad habits. Change the little things, and over time, you can change your life.
The most helpful frame was thinking about who I was becoming as the asset that I was building. So in real time, whenever I finished a long day's work, I was becoming more like the type of person who could work for 5 years without reward. And that would be part of the story I would someday tell. And so some of the biggest reinforcers I've had in my life has been future casting the story that I would tell about the shitty period that I was in. Like I remember when I was sleeping on the floor at my gym because I didn't have enough money for 2 rents. And I was like, I will fucking tell this story. No one ever tells stories about the hero who made it all happen immediately and had no hardships. No one cares, right? Like, okay, you were born to a billionaire. Is there a story there? Not really.
The emotionally immature man seeks out motivation to do something hard one time. The emotionally mature man uses discipline to do something hard 1,000 times.
You have to stay the course no matter what. And it takes a high level of emotional maturity because your emotions dictate your motion.
You just got to grind. There's never been more opportunity than there is right now. If you're a fucking savage and you get out there and you grind hard and you want it bad enough, you can run all these guys over, man.
You have to discipline yourself. That's why I often tell my clients, especially young people, they say, well, I don't know what to do. It's like, that's okay. Nobody does. Go do something. Do the best thing that you can think of. Put the best plan you have into practice. It's not going to be perfect, and it will change along the way. But it will change partly because you become disciplined pursuing the path. And as you become disciplined, you become wiser. And as you become wiser, you become able to formulate better and better plans.
Every day when you get out of bed, life's standing right there to kick you in the fucking face, man. Life is going to throw all kinds of crazy shit at you, right? And you have to be ready for it, and you got to fucking deal with it. You can't curl up into a ball. You can't run away from it. You can't hide. You have to take all this shit head on.
If you are insecure, guess what? The rest of the world is too. Do not overestimate the competition and underestimate yourself. You are better than you think.
Life will give you exactly what you tolerate. And if you've been tolerating mediocrity, you've been tolerating average, you've been tolerating this victim mentality that you're carrying, then guess what? You have exactly what you deserve.
There's people out there that are just working harder than everybody else, and they're gonna keep doing it. And that's their grind, because they change everybody's perspective of like what's possible, what to strive for, and what it takes.
A lot of people wait for perfect conditions to start, but don't realize that starting is the perfect condition.
Almost all of the people around you who have parts of their life that they're not happy about are kind of making a choice for it to be that way. That means that all of the things I don't like about me and I don't like about my life are my responsibility, because I can change it. Nietzsche said, "I know of no better life purpose than to perish in attempting the great and impossible." The fact that something seems impossible shouldn't be a reason to not pursue it. That's exactly what makes it worth pursuing. Where would the courage and greatness be if success was certain and there was no risk? The only true failure is shrinking away from life's challenges.
Work day and night.
Really?
Do as many things, learn as much as you can, fail as often as possible.
What about work-life balance in your 20s?
Fuck it. Because that's the time to put in the hard work. Your work-life balance actually comes out later.
You have to want it. You have to want to be better. Make up your own mission statement. What do you want to be in life? And once you do that, now you can work with somebody to get better. You can work with yourself to get better. But until you know what you want to stand for, you'll never stand for anything.
It's realizing how powerful our minds actually are, like how we really do paint our world with our thoughts and our level of self-belief.
Do you know the difference between champions and everyone else? Everyone always looks at them and says, what do champions have that I don't have? They have it backwards. It's what do they lack? And it's an off button. They just don't stop. Everything in their life is geared towards one goal, and they approach everything in their life that way. I think that that level of obsession around like everything that you touch on a daily basis is required for really getting to where you want to go.
If they don't have what you want, don't listen to what they say. There's no greater waste of time than justifying your actions to people who have a life you don't want.
I just cracked one day and I was like, fuck happiness. Because it felt so out of reach that I was like, just fuck it. I'm not even gonna shoot for it. I'm just gonna do stuff. And I think that was the flip that I've had repeatedly shown to me in my life that allowed me to take the step that I was afraid to take.
When your excuses make you feel a little bit better about the fact that you didn't execute on what you needed to execute on, then they can make you feel better, but they're not helping you.
I'm not talented. It was life and death. Either you live or you die. Which one do you want, Tom? That was the decision. If you want something bad enough, you can't let anybody tell you you can't do something, not even yourself.
I am telling you right now that if you make the commitment to becoming the absolute best version of yourself mentally and physically, your ability to handle stress will go through the fucking roof, which will allow you to be effective because you will be able to execute at a high level when everybody else freaks the fuck out.
Figure out what you want, write it down. Figure out what you could do to start moving towards that, okay? Do that with your family relationships. Do that with your friendships. Do that with your career. Do that with your education. Think about your misuse of alcohol and drugs and other things that might drag you down.
You really can solve a lot of male problems by getting in shape and making money. You still have problems, they're just smaller and you have more resources to handle them. The world is there for the taking for anyone who can learn from their mistakes, do what they say they were going to do, and stick with it, even if it's not sexy. What used to make a man acceptable now makes you extraordinary. The bar for winning has never been so low.
All I have to do is figure out what I need to do, and figuring it out becomes the option. And so then I have clarity on the one thing that I need to do to pull myself out of this moment of sadness. Taking full accountability for your life with all of the deficiencies that you have may be the most painful thing that you do when you look at yourself in the mirror and say, this is my fault. But in saying, this is my fault, those are also the first 2 steps of progress, because it's my fault, not anyone else's, which means it's my responsibility and my action that can change that.
The fear is never reaching your potential.
That's it.
That always falling short, always quitting before you're done, always procrastinating, always not doing the right thing. And then one day you're an old man.
Yep.
And you look back and go, God, I could have been great.
I don't quit. You know, I may not make it the first time, but I'll come back.
If you quit now, you're going to fucking be a loser your entire life. That's it. We don't get what we always want. And to get what we always want, we have to be so much better that it's unquestionable.
We all fall down in life. The question is, who gets back up? You go after it and you give it all you have. If you lose, at least you tried, man. I failed. It's 10 times more of a man than someone said, what if? Because what if never went to the arena.
I'd rather go too far than not far enough.
I wanted to just go the distance. I wanted to feel something besides defeat.
The only reward that you get from taking it easy is the fact that in the moment, it's easier.
The confidence comes from preparation. When I'm prepared, I know what I'm capable of doing, I know what I'm comfortable doing, and I know what I'm not comfortable doing. And so in those moments, if it looks like I'm ice cold or not nervous, it's because I've done it thousands of times before, so it's one more time.
You need to take action, the things that are in your control. You need to execute on those, and that's the key to avoiding these ups and downs.
It's either you have it or you don't.
Yeah, that sounds like excuses to me. I mean, you got to figure it out, right? If you really have an obsession to figure it out, you will figure it out, right? And every puzzle is constructed differently. All right, AI's situation when he came into the league was different than mine. Mike's situation in Chicago was different than mine. Right? Everybody has a different puzzle, man. You just got to figure out your own puzzle.
Sucks to have patience, but just keep hanging in there. Keep doing it. Do it yourself. Eventually, things will happen. It may take a long time, but don't give up. There probably is some drummer in North Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, just as good as like a famous drummer, but the drummer never gets a chance.
I always knew I only need one chance. I always felt I was better than everybody. I always felt all I needed was to get in there once. Just give me one shot and I'll take it home. I'll steal it every time. And then so when I got the call, I knew I wasn't hanging around. I was going to call out everyone in the division. I was going to make my way up to the top as fast as possible because I felt I was ready.
Your time's gonna come, but you cannot give up.
Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. Some people dream of success while you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not gonna stop there. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up.
Success and fighting in life is about desire and the will. How bad do you want it? Is it worth dying for? That's the true greatness, is the willingness to die. So is this thing worth greatness?
Bro, you gotta fucking stop. You gotta stop with all this I can't catch a break bullshit. All the time you're complaining, you could be instead hustling. You could be instead chasing your dream. You could be instead figuring out what you're doing wrong, trying to improve certain aspects of your life, getting your shit together, reading a book, meditating, something. And that's how you do it. You go and get after it. You don't make any excuses.
Impossible is nothing to somebody that tries. Everything that someone said was impossible has happened.
Effort, dedication, work hard, because the talent is not enough anymore. And if you don't dedicate it 100%, you're not gonna reach the level that you want.
You gotta be selfish. I don't give a It's the sacrifice, but without great sacrifice and without great risk, there is no such thing as great reward.
For those of us climbing to the top of the food chain, there can be no mercy. There is but one rule. Hunt or be hunted.
If you want to be really great at something, you kind of have to be out of your fucking mind, but you also have to have an iron will.
Whenever you try to do something out of the ordinary, people will line up to tell you that you can't do it, why you can't do it, that you'll lose your time, you'll lose your money, that you will, in effect, die in the desert. Even people who should know better will try to discourage you.
Is there any limit to your ambition?
No.
Or any limit to what you think you can achieve?
No. Because I think right now, if I was to quit rapping and I said I want to go to the NBA, I would be in the NBA.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
Why would you think you could make it to the NBA?
Because I think I can do anything.
To achieve anything greater worthwhile, you must train yourself to rise above these people, ignoring them and pressing on towards your goal regardless.
The best in the world are not the best because they win every point. It's because they know they'll lose again and again and have learned how to deal with it. You want to become a master at overcoming hard moments. That is, to me, the sign of a champion. You accept it, cry it out if you need to, and then force a smile. You move on, be relentless, adapt and grow, work harder, work smarter. Remember, work smarter.
When your excuses make you feel a little bit better about the fact that you didn't execute on what you needed to execute on, then they can make you feel better, but they're not helping you.
I'm a go-getter. I'm a winner, and I'm gonna always find a way to come out on top, no matter what position you put me in.
Obsession's gonna be talent every time. You got all the talent in the world, but are you obsessed?
And when you have goals that are maybe outside your reach, you have to know that getting to that goal, you're gonna have a lot of bad days.
You're not only winning when things are going your way. You gotta figure out how to win when things aren't going your way.
The world doesn't care what you did, it only cares what you're doing now.
You cannot erase the work ethic part. There is no getting around. Ain't no elevator to the top. You got to take the stairs.
The hardest things are usually the best. If it's easy, leave it to somebody else.
Do you know that the harder thing to do and the right thing to do are usually the same thing? Nothing that has meaning is easy.
Nothing is easy, but you have a choice to make. Do you want to sit down and go back to that guy you once were? No. So this is what it takes.
You don't look at the man you want to be in 20 years. You only have to fix one thing today. Am I a man that I can like and respect today? And when you go to bed at night, look back on the day and say, how did I do today? And then go to bed and go to sleep. Wake up in the morning and say, all I got to do is be the best man I can be today.
We don't get what we always want. And to get what we always want, we have to be so much better that it's unquestionable.
You're going to go through the pain. You're going to go through the suffering. How are you going to choose to show up?
The bad days create the story that I'm one day going to tell myself about what I got through. Without the bad days, there would be no glory in overcoming anything, because what did you overcome?
When you're going through something really challenging, how do you show up within it? Do you choose to become a victim of complaining and misery or do you find meaning in how you show up in the suffering?
Be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt. Don't be afraid of sacrificing some blood.
If you're in a bad position, you feel like you can't win, stay strong, stand up, keep your chin up, and walk. Don't panic. Never panic.
Unchosen suffering is going to happen, right? So the only thing that you can do is have some chosen suffering to prepare for it.
It's the only thing you can do. That's the only thing you can practice for the unchosen suffering. Do something that sucks every day.
Everybody has a turn back moment. You have a moment where you can go forward or you can give up. But the thing you have to keep in mind before you give up is that if you give up, the guarantee is it will never happen. That's the guarantee of quitting, that it will never happen no way under the sun. The only way the possibility remains that it can happen is if you never give up no matter what.
Anything in life that you put your mind to, you can do. The world is your oyster. That's all I tell people. It's this and it's heaven. While you're on earth, you got to take advantage of this.
A lot of people wait for perfect conditions to start, but don't realize that starting is the perfect condition.
Almost all of the people around you who have parts of their life that they're not happy about, a a kind of making a choice for it to be that way. That means that all of the things I don't like about me and I don't like about my life are my responsibility, because I can change it.
You got to be willing to fail. If you can't fail, what I learned in the gym is you got to go out there and fail. You got to go out there and fall down. Most people who've won big have failed big. I want that. I want you to fail, and I want you to get up and do it again. The same thing in life is the same thing here. If you can do this, you can do anything. Anything. Right now, you're 5% away. 5% away from being a champion.
The most important question that you have to ask yourself in life is, how badly do you want what you want? How badly do you want it? Or do you want it at all? You see, there's an awful lot of people who want an awful lot of things. But how badly do they want it? If you want it so badly, if you want it with tremendous intensity of desire, there's really nothing in the world that can stop you from getting it.
To get something, you have to sacrifice something.
There are two types of champions for me. Like, there are champions who prepare themselves to win, and there are the other ones who prepare themselves to dominate.
We make choices every day. If you decide to be rich today, who gonna stop you? Who? If you decide you want to be rich, all you gotta do is start.
I know of no better life purpose than to perish in attempting the great and impossible. The fact that something seems impossible shouldn't be a reason to not pursue it. That's exactly what makes it worth pursuing. Where would the courage and greatness be if success was certain and there was no risk? The only true failure is shrinking away from life's challenges.
That pain you feel, that's the pain of success. You must be willing to shoulder that pain to get the success. And success is something that's a very lonely path in this world, because few are willing to make that down payment of pain for that future of success, the better life. Very few are, because we don't want to be normal. Normality is what weak people call living. I call it death.
Make up your own mission statement. What do you want to be in life? And once you do that, now you can work with somebody to get better. You can work with yourself to get better. But until you know what you want to stand for, you will always just be sitting down. You'll never stand for anything.
Don't take today off. Not today. Wait until tomorrow. Don't give in to the immediate gratification that is whispering in your ear. Shut that down. Do not listen to that little voice. Instead, go through the motions. Lift the weights, sprint the hill, work on the project, get out of bed.
Remember this, is that people are time wasters, and the great majority of people have no goals, they have no priorities, they have no plans, they have no concern about becoming successful, and they think that you're the same. They think because their time isn't worth anything, that your time isn't worth anything also.
Everyone does a few reps when the burn starts and they stop. No one goes the extra mile and keeps going. Like, no one's in here right now. Why? Because it's Saturday evening, everyone's going to party, no one's in here, just me. You know, no one goes the extra mile. The thing about traffic jams, guys, there are no traffic jams in the last mile of the race. It's just you and your shadow. In the beginning, everybody's there. All the pretenders and the contenders, they're all there. But the last yard of life, the last mile of the journey, ain't nobody but you and your shadow. Traffic jams don't exist that far, because everyone else started giving up.
You're not in a fight until there's pressure, resistance, overcoming something.
The easiest thing in life is to give up. The hardest thing is to keep going, but we have to.
People give up right before they get what they've always wanted to get. People quit.
The biggest mistake a person can do right now, no matter in which situation you are, is to give up.
Life isn't fair at all. So what are you gonna do about it? I knew that no one was coming back to help me. No one was gonna miracle me to be somebody special. All my situations were on me now, and solely on me. Everything you do, you may have some support, you may not, but it's on you. You have to make the decision whether you wanna be a badass or whether you just want to be mediocre and everything's okay. But being a bad hurts.
No one's coming. No one. No one's coming to push you. No one's coming to tell you to get out the door and exercise. It's up to you.
I had to stop thinking normal. I can no longer be a common man walking around doing common things.
If you don't change what you're doing and how you do it, nothing else will change.
People talk about triple down on your fucking strengths.
Right.
That's the fucking weakest shit in the world. No, triple down on your fucking weaknesses.
Yeah.
Find out something about yourself. You don't need no one to tell you how to get through. It's happy.
Right.
That's easy shit.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you how you can help yourself get through the times that suck. Real life. This is real life. 90% of your life will suck. 10% will be fucking happy. You may be a lucky guy and have a lot of money, have a great ass woman, all this shit. Trust me, one-on-one with that fucking guy, he's missing something. His life still sucks because he hasn't faced something that bothered him his whole fucking life. Something is still eating that motherfucker up.
Almost everybody.
Everybody.
The thing is, man, it's always going to be a party. There's always going to be a time to celebrate and a time to join friends or a day to, I mean, the bars are always open. Always open. No matter how old you are, they're always open, you know? What's not always open is the opportunity to check the box in life, you know, achieve your dreams. That's not always open. You know, you do your own thing, you know, especially when everyone else isn't doing it, they call you crazy, whatever else, you in here, and people driving by being like, what the fuck's that guy doing up so late? Well, what's up so late mean? I don't know. It's the moments in life, the decisions you make on a moment-to-moment basis that add up to be the guy or not the guy. Tonight, I did something, you know, that I feel more of a guy.
It's the story, man.
Yeah.
We're all writing a book. You got a bunch of chapters in your book, but when they close that book, how good was the book?
People want to know where I find my strength at, where I get my strength. I get it from a lot of places, but right now, this morning, I'm getting it from, there's not a motherfucker that's up. There's not a car, there's not a person. Everybody's in their bed, sleep, dreading that it's a Monday, hate it's a Monday, and I'm loving it. I'm loving that. Where everybody's getting weaker, I'm getting stronger. It's not about the running, the swimming, the push-ups, the sit-ups. It's about what those things do for your mentality. You don't get better on the daggone couch. You get better by coming out here and getting the f*** after it every daggone day.
Everything is determined by what you do and you trying to be your best.
If people are succeeding, even slightly, in a job that they hate, think about how good you could be if it was something that you really, really cared about.
Right.
Think about how amazing you could be if you pursued something that you genuinely had existential simpatico with.
Right.
As opposed to something that you detest.
If you have to ask how to get motivated to go to the gym, you don't need to be going to the gym. You don't want it enough. People that have no problem showing up to the gym are the people that want to be there.
You have to want it. You have to want to be better.
I love the mentality that I'm defeating my competitors silently where they don't even know it. They're out partying, I'm out here getting ahead.
When you figure out who you are and what you want to do, and you devote your life to it, like you're all in on this thing, most of these people end up doing what they say they're going to do and being who they say they're going to become.
If you only did what you were supposed to do when you were motivated to do it, that's leaving it to chance. But if you're disciplined, you go do what you're supposed to do.
If you're going to do it, do it. Say what you can do what you say. If you can't do it, don't say you can do it. Don't over-leverage yourself. Don't over-leverage a decision and then jump in and kind of dip a toe. I think I'll try it out. No, think if you're going to try it out beforehand, but when it's time to go, dive. Finish it. Find out.
Astounding how many people want to be spectacular in life, but also want to fit in and be normal. By being normal, you are, by definition, aiming for average.
Move towards that challenge, whatever that challenge is. And you may be successful, and you may not be successful, but you will be better.
Do the best you can. These are years that you can't get back. Saddest thing in life is wasted talent, guys.
When your excuses make you feel a little bit better about the fact that you didn't execute on what you needed to execute on, then they can make you feel better, but they're not helping you.
I always felt like I could do anything. That's the main thing people are controlled by. Thoughts, their perception of themselves. They're slowed down by their perception of themselves. If you're taught you can't do anything, you won't do anything. I was taught I could do everything.
If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. If you're going to try, go all the way. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe your mind. Go all the way. It can mean not eating for 3 or 4 days. It can mean freezing on a park bench. It can mean jail. It can mean derision, mockery, isolation. Isolation is the gift. All the others are a test of your endurance, or how much you really want to do it. And you'll do it, despite rejection and the worst odds, and it will be better than anything you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way.
You have no fucking idea how great you really are, because you are using such minimal of what you have.
If you give up on your dreams, what do you have left? Nothing. I can't live that way.
If we are obsessed with something and we truly pursue our passion with everything we have, regardless of anything else, if you are obsessed, work hard, put in the time, you will succeed.
If everybody who's like at the bottom and feels like they have nothing going for them, reframe that as I have nothing going for me, which also means that I have nothing to lose by taking action, it makes you a much more dangerous person. And I think that was the flip that I've had repeatedly shown to me in my life that allowed me to take the step that I was afraid to take.
So if you wake up in the morning and you don't want to do something, you don't care enough about yourself.
If you think the price of winning is too high, wait till you get the bill from regret. And that bill from regret is generational.
Whatever I'm afraid to do, I do it. Anything I'm afraid of, I confront it. And that's my personality. Like right now, I'm scared to death. But as the fight gets closer, the less nervous I become because it's reality. And in reality, I'm invincible.
One of the strongest mental frames that has gotten me through my hardest times is thinking this will be the story that I will one day tell. And that means the harder it is, the bigger the dragon, the more epic the story, and by consequence, the more epic the hero.
You can fucking achieve the absolute impossible. You don't need great parents. You don't need like a private school. You don't need to have this humongous GPA and all this other stuff. What you need is the one thing I talk about in my book, which is straight up brutal work ethic. You have to be willing to outwork everybody in the world.
So don't let the pain rob you of your potential, guys. Don't let what you can't do in the moment interfere with what you know you can do. I mean, don't let the pain rob you of your belief of what you can be. Because your body hears everything your mind says.
There are a lot of people who are born in situations that say, well, I'll never get out of this. So they won't.
There's 2 levels of pain, guys. There's the pain that hurts you, and the pain that changes you. That's the pain I always salute, because that's the pain of progress.
You're only ever going to do the things that you feel like doing right now or that feel good right now, unless you understand that you've got to parent yourself, you got to push yourself. You're not going to make your dreams come true. You're just not. We're not wired that way. You weren't born that way, you weren't that way when you were growing up, and you're certainly not that way as an adult. And there's a tremendous amount of liberation that comes when you accept the fact that you're always going to need to give yourself a push.
All of you have extraordinary capabilities, all of you. You have to decide if you are willing to do the things to put you in that category. The Bible says, he who loves to sleep and the folding of hands, poverty will set upon you like a thief in the night.
Isn't it about time you become that person you knew you always could be? How do you do that? You break the fucking mold, guys. You get the fuck out of bed when it's cold, when it's early. You do something away from the normality of what you've been doing. Doing the same thing, expecting a different result doesn't work that way. You must switch up the mainframe.
Expect big things. Think big. Think big. You can do it. You can do it. Why can't I do it? Take a little bit of piece at a time, have daily goals, monthly goals. But you can make it happen. It can happen. What's impossible in your life, go after that. Have that.
The only way to become more successful than most people is to be willing to do something most people aren't willing to do.
I'm not good enough, smart enough. I'm not talented enough to do that. Some people are. Some people can start at 1. Some people don't have to start at all. If you lack talent, you can't sit back and say, I'll start in half an hour. I can't do that. I gotta start now. And after I get back from starting, I gotta start again.
The big challenge is when you're not willing to do something, but you have to do it. You have to challenge yourself to be consistent. Sometimes it's hard because everyone wants to be Cristiano, but I give you the map. You think you will do it that? It's difficult. It's
the discipline.
The discipline is the most difficult thing, not only in the sport, but in the life.
So if you wake up in the morning and you don't want to do something, you don't care enough about yourself.
One of your quotes is, when you're winning, you're not as good as you think you are. When you're losing, you're not as bad as you think you are. What's that mean to you?
When you're winning, everybody's telling you how amazing you are. Oh my God, let me tell you, dude, you know what? You're the best. You're amazing. You know, you're just better than that guy, and you're better than this guy. And it always takes me back to that quote of Marcus Aurelius, who had a slave that would sit behind him and always whisper to him, hey,
you're just a man.
You're just a man.
Everyone's like, oh, later in life, I want to do this. Later in life, I want to do that. Later in life is turning around, looking in the mirror right now. That's later in life. And unless that turnaround is something in progression, later in life, ain't gonna be anything different.
The man who never fell has no glory. The man who fell and got back up, that's where his glory is. The man who fell 20 times and got up 21 times, that man has even greater glory. Wow. That man has more courage, way more courage than the guy who was so strong from birth that he never failed.
Champions find a way to make it happen. No matter how long it takes, they find a way.
Act like the person you want to become. That's not fake it till you make it, by the way. This is intentional. Intentionally act like the person you want to become. Because when you intentionally act like the person you want to become, your brain sees you taking those actions, so your brain starts to change the way it relates to you.